Rather interesting indeed here. Only going to go for guns. And we crit him. And there he goes. Good stuff. That's what I'm saying. You can actually kill things with your gun. Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to another episode on War Thunder, and welcome to what is probably one of my all-time favourite jets, the MiG-21 MF. Now the MiG-21 MF being the German variant of the MiG-21 sat at the very top of the German tech tree here, if we give it a little quick check at battle rating 10.3. Is an absolute beast of a plane, and I totally, absolutely love it. Now, as you all may know, there is a few variations of the MiG-21 lineup. Germany only really having this one variation with the somewhat fat tank on the back, while the USSR has actually got two different ones with the MiG-21 F-13 and the MiG-21 SMT. The SMT having slightly higher performance on the stat card, but also this more fat tank on the back design, with the MiG-21 F-13 being a bit more sleek. But looking back at the German MiG now, I have to say I absolutely, totally love this thing. Now, just starting out with the modifications real quick, you'll see that I have it actually totally spaded, and that should just already go and show you all a bit about how much I really enjoy playing this thing. Because it's actually been like that for a while, and I keep playing it, even though I don't have to play it in order to spade it or anything. I just keep playing this plane because it is really, really that fun, and it is really also that good. So what do you get then? For a start, you get a max speed of 2240 kilometers an hour at a height of 13,000 meters. If you have this thing fully spaded and you have the better missiles on the undercarriage of the plane, being the R-60s. Now, you can't just fit the R-60s out here for guided missiles. You also have the R-3Ss, which are the first ones you will actually unlock when going down the tech tree. R3Ss, honestly, not being the greatest, though. You only get a max overload of 10G. You really only have a very small cone in which you can launch these missiles, in which they can actually lock onto targets compared to the R60s. So while they do, I think, have a bit higher of an explosive mass compared to the R60s, the R60s are kind of preferable one way or another, because with the R60s what you get is a very nice and big launch cone or locking cone in which you can actually lock onto targets and launch the missiles, a very nice maximum overload of 30 Gs. While it is a short range missile, of course, with a launch range of only 8 kilometers, so you better want to be close to the targets you're shooting at. It is turning like absolutely crazily. It has been a bit better in the past, I have to say. At least that's what I feel. When I first had the R60s on this plane, they basically killed everything they locked onto, no matter how hard the target would turn. I feel that Gaijin has made them a bit more jerky, though. I've had a few instances now where they've kind of just slightly jerked off the target, as sometimes, like I had one or two instances now where they just basically went straight and exploded. So they're not as reliable as they used to be, I feel, but they're still right up there with the best air-to-air missiles you can get into this game. And if you get them launched in at least a somewhat doable situation for the missile, it will most likely hit its target. Now that said, you do have a few other loadouts for this plane. You've obviously got a few bomb variants, you've got some S5K rockets, and you've got some S24 rockets, which are actually not half bad for ground attack. You get 25 kilograms of explosive mass with these, and 80 millimeters of penetration, so you can actually kill a bunch of tanks from the top with this rocket at high BR battles. That said, you know, if you're going for the German lineup for these kind of purposes, you probably want to just use a G91 instead. But that's some topic for a different day. Other than that, I mean, Nothing special really. Every upgrade that you would expect from a high tier fighter. You get the G suit and all the usual upgrades to the plane. I'm usually using the air targets belt for the cannons of this vehicle, which you only actually get one cannon, which is a 23mm right down here. Now, I will have to say, overall, I do actually like this cannon a lot. You do only get 200 shots, so you want to make sure to make those shots count. And while a lot of people obviously always have this meme of missile thunder in the back of their minds when it comes to high-tier battles in War Thunder, this cannon has gotten me so many kills by now that I kind of want to abstain from this meme for this plane. Now, while it is of course not centrally mounted, and you do kind of have to account for that when aiming the gun, that it is actually below your plane's body, when you actually connect the shots, you will most certainly have a very, very decent effect with these guns. I usually do actually use them to very nice effect. Now, I must say, just as a quick disclaimer before we get into the videos later, that I haven't had too much practice with this plane as of late, so I'll probably not be able to use this gun to the same perfection, or at least, maybe not perfection, but, you know, to the same level of performance that I am usually able to use it to. But just know that if you get a good bunch of practice in with this plane, you will actually be able to decide a lot of dogfights in your favor with this gun, that it is actually quite strong and quite reliable. And as long as you manage to just go for like very, very quick sprays, not totally spray out all that ammo in one go, you will actually be able to kill multiple planes with it in one game as well. So yeah, really happy with the performance. Now, compared to the rest of the battle rating that it is usually playing at, as I said before, I think it is a very, very competitive plane. So like usual planes that you'll probably be facing a lot, of course, do also include things like an F4E Phantom, do include things like a Mirage, and do include things like the Swedish Draken. Now, I feel that you can win against most of these things if you pilot the plane properly, but I would probably say, at least in my opinion, that the Mirage is still a little bit stronger than the MiG-21. While it is certainly strong, and some may even say overpowered, I do feel that the Mirage is a bit stronger, because it does feel like the Mirage does turn that little bit harder. It has got a very, very nice bit of speed on it too, so like the engine on the Mirage is pretty good too, and it does just slightly outturn the MiG-21MF, which is something that the MiG-21 actually does very much excel at, with a turn time of 33 seconds totally spaded. It is very, very good, but you do have to take into account that if you go for turns in this thing, you will bleed energy very, very quickly. And given that you've just got this one central engine, you won't actually regain speed as quickly as you would with something like a MiG-19 or maybe even an F4E Phantom. So you do have to be very, very careful when it comes to actually engaging in turn fights and bleeding off all that energy, because once that energy is gone, you will actually turn like a brick, and if you don't manage to get yourself out of that turn fight in time, you will eventually end up getting picked off and die. So that's kind of the most critical point of this plane, is only really engage in turn fights when you feel you can kill the enemy guy and yeet out before you bleed all your energy and get picked off by somebody else. But yeah, other than that, turn time is absolutely brilliant, helps you get your guns on target very nicely, and the missiles do perform very, very nicely too. But then you've got something like the Mirage and the Draken, for example, that do outturn you a little bit in these situations. So you do need to be careful who you fight in these kinds of turn fights. F4Es, I would say, in my opinion, are probably a bit weaker overall. You do, of course, get the flares on the F4Es, which is a big, big benefit, because the MiG-21 does not get that, and those will save F4E pilots left and right all the time, just throwing these missiles off target if used properly. But, well, other than that, I feel, just given the MiG-21's turning ability, how good the missiles are, how good the guns are, I am kind of very positive that it is a bit stronger than F4E. And then you of course have other planes among these battle ratings, but I do think that compared to anything that I haven't mentioned just yet, honestly the MiG-21 does sit a good bunch above them in performance and is pretty much like the battle rating of course justified, but it is sitting at the very far top of this battle rating for performance. And if you're somewhat experienced in piloting higher tier jets and also piloting the MiG-21MF, you can have really good games in this. Like, I think my best games in this have been like 5 or 6 kills, sometimes even more if I manage to get back to base in time and kill another dude or two. There will be bad games in every plane you play, of course, but I do think this one does have a lot of potential overall. That said, I think that is about everything that I want to tell you guys for a basic introduction to this plane. Now, let's just get ourselves into some hopefully very good gameplay, and I will try and show you the performance of the plane to the best of my ability. So I'll see you all after the cut. Alright, and here we are in the first game. Now I just quickly wanted to show you all that I usually actually start into the game with 30 minutes of fuel on the MiG-21. Thing being that honestly, if you compare performance out here for the start, right, with the afterburner, you will quickly see that I can very much still hold up with most of the other planes for acceleration even with 30 minutes of fuel. But if you look at that fuel gauge going down with afterburner, you'll see just how quickly this thing does burn through fuel. So that's why I do try and go into battles with a bit more fuel. Oop, let's not break the gear off. With a bit more fuel than usual. I did actually try 20 minutes, and while it does work out in most games, I have found that there is going to be a few games where you will just end up running out of fuel at the very end in the last decisive battle, and that'll screw you over. So that's why I try not to do that anymore. I feel with 30 minutes of fuel, I've got more than sufficient power for the first climb, you know, with all the spading and everything going on. I can still easily, quickly get myself up to 1100 kilometers an hour, and then I go into a 30-kilometer climb, and I pretty much just stay at that speed and gain altitude like crazy, so I don't think it's that much of a concern at the start. And if you go like 10 minutes into the match or something, you'll be at fuel levels again where you are very competitive nonetheless, so it doesn't really matter. That said, you do of course, just as in a bunch of other jet planes, you have a very big spark of power when you actually get down, well, I mean not of power to weight ratio, of course, more when you get down to around about that 10-minute fuel mark. But I feel it is for a start very much sufficient just going out with 30 minutes, just like me here. So what I usually do is I try and kind of go off to the sides. I do, as you guys could all see, just go into that 30-degree climb up to usually just 4,500 meters. I'm a bit above that right now, but that is about fine. And the great thing is that at these altitudes, this thing gets really fast. So as you can all see right now, I'm already at Mach 1.18 here, 1.19. Just going through the Mach numbers like no tomorrow, meaning that if something does actually end up popping up behind me, unless it's an F4E with the long-range missiles that it gets, which would probably worry me a bit more, I can probably just run away from the missiles that get lobbed at me. Because the short-range missiles that are mostly in War Thunder right now just don't really worry me too much in terms of that. Alright everybody, hello, and welcome back to probably still one of my favourite jet maps of all time. We are out here on Korea, and as just a second ago, we are already nearly done with our climb. I will slightly go around here and they'll probably go zoom to that direction. Before the time being, let's go and straighten out. I have to say I've had a lot of games today where the cloud cover has been really high up, and I do have to say I kind of dislike that in the MiG-21. I feel other planes, such as especially the Phantom, do probably have a bit better radar or something, because they do seem to be detecting me a lot better inside cloud cover, which is something that I actually have always had a bit of trouble with the MiG-21. So not really the ideal conditions out here, nonetheless probably something that we can overall deal with. So you see out there on the map, there's already the first two enemies out there, so I am going to go ahead and slowly turn in, try and go for a few of those first hits, help out the team. So we've got an F4E up here and an F104. I think that's probably the two most likely candidates that I'll go after for a start, because a lot of the other action is happening down low. That said, F4E seems to be diving away right now, so maybe I'm going to go for this one instead. Okay, so other than that, we will have a bit of action down below us. We'll need to watch out for nobody to pop up in our face right there, but I'll be going after the F4E here. See, oh, he may already be dead there. Yeah, no, not really, not yet. That was a bad launch. He is dead though. Wow, okay, so not even tried to use the flares, which is kind of surprising, because those flares work very, very nicely on the F4Es, I feel, at least against MiG-21 missiles. I'm not sure, like, I know there was a lot of F4E pilots out there, like, I think more when it got introduced that, you know, flares do next to nothing, but then it was kind of more the consensus of, okay, you know, if you drop flares, you've got to turn off the afterburner for the missile to actually get pulled off the path. So, you know, you can't just drop flares and that's it. You actually have to still work with the plane to get out of the way somewhat. But overall, you know, I do think the flares help a lot there. So not quite sure why he made it that easy for me, but that's fine. That's just the way that it is. This lad down here has got an F4C on his back, so I'll try and yeet in behind that F4C and get it out of the way for him. Just like that. No reaction, he's dead. Nice, and that's the second one of the game. Easy as that. So far it's been pretty nice. Just trying to pick things off here. Nothing's really gotten into my way too bad as of yet. This F4E thing may become an issue though. Maybe not. Okay. That F4E is dead. That's great. There is another F4E right there, so good thing I stayed in that turn. And as you all can see, I pretty much bled all my energy now, but there's not many enemies around me, so I'm not super worried about it right now. Just going to try and straighten out a bit here now, get behind that F4E, and then I'm going to help out on the rest of the fight there, I hope. Other than that, I've got an F4E coming up on my back here, so that is an issue. There's also a missile coming for me now. Ooh, get that AB off. Oh, that was a close one. It was a really close one. Stop lobbing missiles at me from all directions. Oh. Well. Alright everyone, and welcome back to Spain once more for our last little match out here. I did choose a different path this time. As you can see, we're going right across the ocean this time around, just in hopes of a little change. And I have to say, I have not been too successful yet today with actually getting those nice clips in for you all, but I hope we can now change that in the last one. So, already seeing a first black dot out there, actually first few black dots out there. I'm probably just going to go straight into them, see if we can maybe grab somebody with a quick head-on, and, well, if not, I'm probably going to head straight for the time being and then try and yeet in behind them. So F4C out here, just going to try and go for that to do. Let's see if he's willing. He seems pretty oblivious right now. Nope, he... This is not too bad. Oh, I didn't get the gun up. Okay, I should get out of this before I kill myself. I think I may have already killed myself, but let's see about that one. F104 coming my way right now. Did manage to dodge him though. Where's that F4C at now? Here he is. Let's go right behind them. Lob a missile at him in time. Oh, we did. Nice. That was a weird engagement, but we got something out of it, so I'm happy. I'm going to stay in the clouds here, avoid that F4E if possible, and go straight. Okay, nothing behind me? Does not look like it. Very good. Okay, so, got an F4E in front, so I'm not going to turn here. Don't want to be placing myself right in front of that dude. Actually, we can maybe place ourselves right behind him instead. That would be nice. Gonna try and lob a missile at him. I think he's more focused on the Su-7 than the missile coming at him here. And he's down. Good stuff. So yeah, I'm telling you, this missile actually can do a lot if you lob it at people properly. That's 2 kills for us so far with that nice missile. Really, really happy so far. Let's try and help out teammates a bit more. So we've got this F4E to the right, we've got one to the left. I feel the one to the left is probably rather concentrated on who's behind him. This one right here seems more in a hunting sort of mode, so I'll try and actually catch up to him. I absolutely can't see anything here though. I've got no clue where he went. I got that. I'm only following the radar pings right now, and it seems I've just lost those as well. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I kind of had that little effect of me going Supersonic in my face, and that was kind of where I lost the dot on the black horizon, unfortunately. So, I'll be going after him. He seems to be going for our base, which I really don't like. But he is going up, so he is. He's actually recognised that we are behind him for the time being. Gonna try and bleed as little speed as possible. There is an FGR out there. Probably don't want to ignore that lad. Not gonna head him on though. F4E is just boosting away with... Am I alone out here? No, I'm not. Okay, good. So the F4E is turning, it seems, which is interesting. Rather interesting indeed here. Only gonna go for guns. And we crit him. And there he goes. Good stuff. That's what I'm saying. You can actually kill things with your gun. So, very, very happy right now. 3 kills right there. Going for the FGR now, which we totally are going to miss here. But I am going to try. And crit him right there. Good stuff. That's what I am talking about right here. Now, I mean, he is not dead yet, though. So, I would like to lob a missile at him, but this constant spam of flares, and this thing does have a lot of flares, does not help with that. Gonna lob one at him here. Does seem he's staying on the AB, and there goes another hit, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever just had a hit with a missile. Kinda interesting. Well, I've got another one. I'll lob more at him if I need to. He's just going straight with that. Got him. Okay. I don't know why he was just going straight spamming, flares. I kind of feel... Lol. I kind of feel he just didn't have the ability to turn there anymore after I crit him once. But yeah, nice engagement right there. I've got another 110 cannon rounds, so we can always try and get this F4C. I'm not too hopeful of it. Oh, it's dead. Well, I mean, that changes things a little. Where's that last dude at now? I'm not quite sure. I do think I've got a lot of blind hunt orders, so we could just do that. Let's just do it. Where's he at? There. A T2 out there killing PE8s. If I would have just watched the kill feeds, I could have saved myself that blind hunt order too. But that's fine. We're going to go and get ourselves out there and try and get that dude. Now T2s. Unfortunately, I don't have any more missiles because he's an easy target for those missiles, but we can get him with the gun too. I'm not too worried about speed at that altitude. I can go rather fast too. And, well, now he's dead anyways. So that's good. That's cool. Alright, cool. That was a nice match. Really happy with that one. Gonna wrap this clip up right here, and I'll probably see you all in the hangar then. Alright, so here we are, back out of the hangar now. Now, as I already said, I've spent a lot of time, I think nearly 1 hour today, actually trying to get those clips together for you all. It's not been going too nicely, unfortunately, because as you all could probably see in the first few clips there, I was still a bit rusty with this plane, and I did need to get myself back in the game. However, with that last clip from Spain, I do hope that I have given you guys a very nice impression of what this thing is able to do. Now, I do remember, though, that I do still have some very, very nice clips of this plane from one of my live streams that I do actually still have in my VOD archive on my PC. So I do think that most likely I will now take the quick chance to give you guys a few of those impressions as well, to try and round off the overall set of impressions that you got from me for this plane. Looks like the J35D down there could use some help. I'm really not too much of a fan of going all the way down there when I don't know where the rest of this team is. I think I don't want to let my J-35. I mean, honestly, he should be able to defend himself versus an F-4E easily, but still. Maybe he's going to line him up nicely for a kill for us or something. Let's see. Oh, sad panda. I literally just killed the dude as he killed him. Whoa, that was actually kind of close. Late on the elevator there. I'm not gonna head on you. I would like to actually get myself back up to some more speed now. Provided that I don't have anything on my back, which looks like I'm kind of clear right now, so that's good. Gonna get myself a bit more speed and I'm gonna climb some. Not gonna go for that 19. I really just like going for like the weakest plane on the grid with the strongest plane on the grid, if that makes sense. I always feel that's kind of a bit of a dick move, so unless it really starts bothering me, which I doubt is gonna happen anytime soon, you know. He can probably live for the time being. Now that T2, I'm not gonna head on. Oh, I crit him! What? Oh my god, how did I even know? Oh my god, that was so close! How did I... What? What even happened right now? What just even happened? I crit the T2, and I don't even know how I aimed that properly, because he was still in the turn. And then I just evaded that missile with some, like, weird-ass wizardry. I can't even tell you what just happened. Ah, just elevator. No, not elevator, but rudder locked right there. Let's try and kill that T2, finish him off. Oh, I think I killed his engine. He seems really slow. I mean, I'm just gonna leave him alone. I can't bleed all my speed for that final kill. I really hope he's not gonna lob a missile at me now. Let's get away from him a bit. Oh, he's so gonna lob a missile at me, isn't he? Doesn't look like it. I'm really not sure if his engine is actually... Whoa! Dead. That was kind of spooky. I don't know. Let's maybe turn around and finish him off. Maybe not. Come on, shoot. Thanks. T2 just died, so I definitely killed his engine there. F4C just lucky evaded me. I don't think he saw the missile coming. Did he? Maybe he did. Oh, that one's gonna kill him. Bye. Thanks for your service. 2 more missiles left. How many did we get so far? 3. Wait, did I kill 2 with guns? That's actually pretty sick. People say guns are useless, you know, missile thunder, they say. Little do they know. Little do they know, I nearly just managed to kill that dude with guns as well. Come here, Mirage. I hate Mirages. It's like they're literally the only one thing that's more OP than a MiG, and there goes another gun kill! 3 gun kills! Look at this sick game, that's so gonna be a stream highlight. I could even make this its own video, to be honest, and upload it on YouTube. Unless I die to this FGR2 now, which could totally happen. Or not. Jeez, this is a really good game, guys, I have to say. Like, 3 gun kills. I've still got 2 missiles going here. This is actually going real good right now. Come on, lock. Thank you. Has he still got flares? He does. Yeah. Gotta get closer or gotta gun him down again. I hate these slow and sluggish turn fights. I really do. I mean, he's probably got more flair, so I'm not even gonna bother lobbing my missile at him now. Just gonna save that for if and when I actually get closer to him somehow. I'm kind of getting closer, you know, sometimes. But it's... I don't know, I would really like to get myself out of the circus and back in on him, but I'm not sure I could actually do that without getting shot by him. I think I kind of have to stay in this turn fight, which is an issue for me. He's definitely outpowering me for the engines. Okay, let's try and go straight here for a second. because I need some speed. Come on. Ah, I know. Nearly managed to get him right there. Gotta get some flaps in here again. Oh, this is such a struggle for the last final kill. What? Where are all my teammates right now? I don't get it. How is he even turning with me? I mean, it's probably because I don't have any flippin' energy whatsoever. Also probably want to try and not die by plummeting into the ground in the middle of a turn fight. Holy flip, he's actually going to kill me, isn't he? Oh no, finally. Thank God. Somebody's finally here. Jeez. What a final turn fight right there. Let's kill that light tank. Let's do like a little barrel roll and, you know, some sick maneuvers and everything and be happy because I think we just won, right? Yeah. Alright, so with those clips now hopefully played, here we are back in the hangar with the MiG-21. So, as you can see, you can do a lot of stuff with this plane. It is not all too forgiving in that if you go and bleed all that speed away, it's pretty certain you're probably going to die and get blasted to pieces, because as you all could see there in one of the clips probably, I'm not 100% sure that will be featured, but if it will be, you know, once that energy is bled, you are in a bit of a bad situation, so you always want to watch out for that. But if you really practice a bit with this plane, if you know how to aim those guns, if you know when you can bleed energy and when you can't, and how to position yourself properly in fights, you can easily have a lot of 5, 6, 7 kill games without much of any issues if you just put your mind to it. Because if you properly use those missiles, you'll get 1 kill per missile. And then you've got the gun, and in turn fights, as you could see in that Spain clip, and probably also in the Twitch clip, you can easily get a kill, 2 kills, 3 kills with those guns on top. And then, you know, if you actually end up going and rearming and going out again, there's a lot of potential in actually dominating the skies in this plane if you do it right. So overall, really love this plane. In my mind, it's one of the strongest planes currently out there. There is a few others that I very much want to give the title of strongest plane of the BR as well though, so like the Mirage, I definitely want to get that, definitely want to try it out. I think the Draken probably not as much, you know, the Draken just is a bit too weak in certain other situations, but it is very good at outturning the MiG, of course. So you do want to watch out with not putting yourself in front of one or in a turn fight with one. But overall, I think probably in my top 3 of best performing fighters out there at top battle rating at the moment. So yeah, that kind of wraps it up for me for this Supersonic MiG-21 MF. I do hope that you all enjoyed the episode. I hope that I could give you all a decent impression of this plane. If you have any questions about this plane, any comments down below, anything you think I could improve on, please make sure to let me know right down below. And if you enjoyed this episode, definitely make sure to hit that like button down below, because that does always very much help out the channel. That said, there is definitely going to be more War Thunder videos coming out, so if you want to stay around for this content or any of my other content, also definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button right down below. And never forget about that bell icon either, to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. That said, as always, thank you all very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one very soon. Ciao.